Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. So the reason I wanted to talk to you directly this way is because we've hit a really important milestone with our system, and it took a long time to get here. It was really challenging, even gave me some gray hair. Moving forward, we've talked in the team and we really want to we've tried to do it already in the past, but we really want to develop like a culture of brutal honesty. So being honest about good stuff, but also bad stuff. Being honest with you guys about the stuff, with ourselves. Because in the past, we've done a lot of good stuff, but we've also made mistakes. We've underestimated a bunch of things. Some things we should have foreseen, a few things that we couldn't have foreseen, and I wanted to take a little bit of time to basically look at the last few years to see where we're standing today and how we're moving forward. I think this is this journey has been crazy. We've learned a lot, and we're sitting here today because of you guys, because we put up a piece of plastic and metal, an idea online, and you guys supported it. And I think we owe this honesty to you guys. And that's what I wanted to do today. So first I wanted to start off by looking really why we started Senic. A couple of years ago, I was hanging out with my friends, and I grew up with technology. Like my dad, he was an electrician, and then he got into like home automation systems. So he picked up also coding, these kind of things. So I grew up with a computer, but when I was little, we didn't have smartphones. And then, all of this happened like from personal computer, internet, smartphone. And a few years ago, I was sitting there with my friends, and it was super weird because I was sitting there with my friends, but especially one of my friends, he was just on his phone the whole time, and I was trying to poke him and take away the smartphone from him, but it was really, really hard, and it just made me and made my friends realize that, yeah, technology is going into a weird direction. Technology is awesome. It can really support us and help us, but it's kind of like coming with a lot of side effects. And a few years ago when we talked about this, it was really new. Like now it's starting to gain like mainstream attention on how short people's attention span is, that depression is on the rise. So we're really living in this age of completely feeling overwhelmed all the time. And there's just like distraction, a lot of apps trying to grab our attention. They're actually designed to grab our attention. They're using a lot of like psychological mechanisms to do that. For example, notifications on Twitter. Like there's actually delay when you go on Twitter until a notification is shown. That's not because of some technical reason. That's because you go on Twitter, you're like, okay, is there a notification? And there's a certain delay, so your emotional state builds up. And then when you see the notification, dopamine rushes through your brain. And it's basically the same effect you have from a casino machine, where you pull on the lever and you wait for the result. So it makes you want to come back all the time and spend as much time within an app as possible. Yeah, so this is the reason we really started. We believe in technology, but we also believe the way we're using it today is not sustainable and designed for our well-being. Right now, technology is designed for our attention, and that needs to change. And that's why we started the company. We want to really show how technology has a positive effect on our well-being. And yeah, sounds like a really grand vision. Of course, we had to break it down on what that means. And music and lighting have a really deep biological and social effect on our well-being. Music can help you to focus, to relax. It actually brings people closer together. Light has biological effects. So warmer light, for example, helps you to relax. Colder white light helps you to be active. So there's a lot to do there, and you want to get rid of the distraction in between. And that's why we wanted to build Nuimo, because my roommates and I, we were living in an apartment, and we didn't have a simple and a shared way to control our music. Like every time we got home, we got excited, we wanted to play music, it was just like, wait a second, I need to pull out my smartphone, go through all of the steps, and it was just super annoying. And that's where the idea from Nuimo came from. And it really expresses the core idea, because it's a super fast way to control your music. So you just come home and press play. So actually what happens is that people start listening to more music because we made the path to music shorter. So again, this has a positive effect on your well-being, and at the same time, you don't need to pull out a smartphone, which can have negative effects on your well-being. So it really expresses the core idea without a lot of people actually realizing how deep that idea goes. Yeah, so let's get to the progress on Nuimo. So we all worked at different companies before, did different parts, from electrical engineering, etc., at companies like Audi, car manufacturers, or liquid crystal companies, etc. But none of us have built a full product from A to B, from A to Z. And this was new. Usually you have like giant teams to do that. And we were literally like 3 people in our apartment. That's where we did everything, shooting the videos, building prototypes, etc. So yeah, we showed the idea to you guys. And of course, we also had great ideas on what we wanted to work with. And then started to run into the realization on how hard it is to build hardware. And sometimes it makes me sad to see also with a lot of other Kickstarter projects where the ideas were so great that for many understandable reasons they didn't play out. But one of the good decisions we didn't realize that was good was actually manufacturing in Germany, not to trying to go to like abroad to Asia, for example, right away. Because this really helped us to work with like local manufacturers, to learn from them and do everything. But yeah, it took a long time to build the firmware, to build the mechanics. I'm very proud of the hardware. It's a really fine piece of hardware. And whenever we have people visiting from bigger companies, they never believe that we actually built this with like 4 or 5 people. They always expect there's like a team of 30 or 40 people behind this. So that's a huge accomplishment, but we also ran into a lot of problems. So as you guys know, in the beginning, we connected Nuimo to a smartphone, and from there we controlled Sonos speakers. And on Android, this was really tough because Android hardware, Android phones, there's no quality standards on the Bluetooth chips that are being used. So it was just, we realized after a couple of weeks or months, let's say, that was just impossible to guarantee a stable connection through Android devices. And then on iOS, there are standards. The Bluetooth modules are really standardized, but there were also iOS updates all the time. And at some point, we weren't even able to run Bluetooth in the background. And that put us into like a really tough spot because we weren't able to deliver a stable connection. So about 1.5 years ago, we talked to a bunch of you guys and discussed on what we should do, and we had to take a decision. So and we decided to build our hub because this gave us a lot of advantages. Before we had people working on Android and iOS, and now we could take our software engineering power and put it onto a single platform, which allowed us to work a lot faster and better. And we're independent, so we can, work with our German data privacy laws. We don't depend on anyone. We have the flexibility. So I think it was a really important step, especially considering where we're moving in the future. But of course, this also took a while. This hub is a powerful device. It runs a Linux system. We had to, we used the basics of Linux, but also, of course, had to build our application stack, so the ability to control Sonos. And we've communicated that we're committing to this. So we've also communicated that you could still get the Android app and the iOS app, but that we need to stop support. We simply cannot afford to do everything, although we would like to. It's just impossible. And now, if you're using iOS for Sonos, one thing I also want to mention is Sonos changed their firmware 10.1, which breaks our app. So if you were using Nuimo control with an iPad, for example, for the last 2 years to control Sonos, there's a bunch of you who use this reliably. It's gonna break now, and we really want you guys to have a good experience. My co-founder Felix and I, you can talk to us on the phone, Skype. We're really there for you. And we would like to move everybody to the hub so you can keep using Nuimo, and you're gonna have a lot new features through the hub as well. So it's really worth it. And because of the change in the Sonos firmware, we're also taking down the iOS app on May 1st. So after that, you cannot download it anymore because we don't want people to have any more confusion or run into problems. So it's going to be like a really clean cut. So we focus on the system through the hub. And again, this is coming with a lot of new cool features. So I highly recommend for you guys to reach out to us. Yeah, so this took a while, but the big milestone that I've been talking about is that we're now at a point where things are running smoothly. Like I can't believe I would say this. Because it took a long time, and I'm sorry guys that it was also frustrating for you guys, but I'm also really grateful that you were patient. Building in hardware and software, it's one of the toughest things. It's really, really, really tough. There's so many different layers from electronics, mechanics, firmware, application layer software, app, then we need to build our website, etc. But we've managed to do it now. Yes, it took a long time, but it's also good. We've also, if you care or if you followed it, we've built a little website online where you can check our updates. So we constantly, actually I'm posting it in a link down below so you can see our progress. A lot of things you don't see as a user. For example, the last 3 months, we spent another chunk of time only focusing on reliability and making our developers work easier. So there's a lot of testing, which allows them to work faster and to work more reliably so we can build features faster. And now we're at the point where we're gonna start building new features. So that's where you guys, again, come in. We wanna build stuff that's important. Just again, out of honesty, we won't be able to build everything. Any software integration is taking months of time. That's just how it works. So we have to be selective about the things that we can invest our time and money in. But we do only do it based on your feedback. So we already got a lot of feedback on HomeKit integrations, for example, which we're researching right now on how to build that and how long it would take. But if you have other ideas, please let us know. Yeah, apart from that, I hope you already have the hub. I hope you got experience like a bunch of people that it's reliable now. If there are bugs, that is also normal, and we're working really hard to fix them. We might not also see everything. We're doing a lot of testing, internal beta testing, external beta testing, but we might also be missing stuff. So please report that to us. That is the development cycle. That's how it works. So please let us know about this. Yeah, and the last thing I probably want to say is that, you know, Nuimo, yes, it's a product, and we want to make it the best product it could possibly be for you guys. So it works reliably, but I also want to reiterate that it's more than a product. Like, the reason we exist and the reason we exist today and people believe in us is not only because of this product, because it stands for something. It stands for a new generation, how products should be designed and should be built. And we want to go even further. We want to go further with new software features, with new hardware products. And we really believe, or we really hope that you also believe in this mission of not just putting technology into people's homes that has a negative effect on their well-being or that grabs their attention, but really being careful, being thoughtful, and designing technology in a way that it has a positive effect on people's well-being. So we hope you guys will support us, continue to support us on this journey. The reason we can talk about this idea is because of you guys, because of the team who's building super hard and who is also super passionate about the reason we're here, about investors that we took on that are really supporting us, because hardware is also very expensive to build. New customers, yeah, but it did start with you guys. So we're forever grateful, and we want to come back to crowdfunding because we really believe also in the way this works. Before, you had to have big corporations to build products, but now because of crowdfunding, a few people that sit in a room and look at how technology is being used today, have an idea, want to change something. So thanks again. I talked quite a while now. I'm sorry for that, but I wanted to share this with you. We want to be very transparent and honest. Things are going slower, but we're also doing things very thoughtfully. So thanks, guys. If you have any questions, please, we're not a faceless company. You can message us, you can call us. We're really there for you guys, and we appreciate your support. So talk to you later, guys.